Hello again, true F1 fans. The Daily Cynic is back with another must-see video. Today, I'm going to talk about how our beloved sport of Formula One is becoming a farce in front of our very eyes. But before I do that, it'll be much appreciated if you could help support this channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons below. All done? Thanks. Now let's get started. I've been unsure whether to do a video about this issue for some time now, mainly because it's like trying to beat a dead horse with a stick. At some point, it's not worth the effort. But that's probably what they want, isn't it? For the good guys to shut up and be quiet and everyone just sit back and participate in a sham, whether you're an active participant or you're just a viewer like most F1 fans. So, I'm not going to shut up and be quiet and allow this corruption to continue without calling it out. Now some of you may be thinking, what could I possibly be referring to? Well, if it wasn't enough that the FIA turned the title-deciding Abu Dhabi race in 2021 into an absolute shambles to benefit Red Bull, or that the FIA official who investigated the Abu Dhabi mess became CEO of AlphaTauri 1.5 years later, now I've found out that my worst fears about F1 has just become reality. Yesterday, the FIA announced that AlphaTauri will be partnering with them as their official clothing partner from 2024 until 2026. The deal will see FIA officials wear AlphaTauri branded clothing for the next 3 seasons in FIA-governed motorsports around the world. This includes Formula One. You really can't make this up. Red Bull and the FIA aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Red Bull may as well brand the skin of every FIA official involved in F1 with a hot iron to show they are Red Bull's property now. This also shows how much the FIA really cares about conflict of interest. Is there anyone with any ethics left in that organization? It really doesn't surprise me that it's come to this. This is what usually happens when corruption isn't dealt with. It just gets worse, with the perpetrators getting emboldened to do more and more shady things. We see this in politics, business, and even law enforcement. The corruption just continues if it's not rooted out. The FIA race stewards, officials, and scrutineers may as well wear Red Bull racing outfits during F1 events from now on. Would anyone have any objections to this? And if so, why not in the case of AlphaTauri branded clothing? They're both owned by the same company, so I would find it weird for someone to object about FIA officials in Red Bull outfits but not in AlphaTauri branded clothes. Maybe it's because Red Bull colors would make the collusion too in your face for any reasonable human being to deny. What's worse, though, is that you won't read about any of this in the written media, as most of these guys are self-censoring to maintain their FIA-approved paddock passes to F1 events. Also, a lot of these so-called journalists are hitching rides to and from race events on a certain team's private jet, which is why, instead of investigating and trying to dig a little deeper into the strange events of the 2021 season, they were all comfortable with spreading the narrative of human error. However, I blame the fact that F1 has now become a farce on all those F1 fans who, in their delight at seeing Hamilton deprived of an 8th World Drivers' Championship, we're willing to look the other way at the corruption and collusion between the FIA and Red Bull. This reminds me of the rigged boxing matches of the Jim Crow era in the Deep South, where the public would see their favorite fighter get beaten for 12 rounds straight, only to have his hands raised at the end of the fight simply because the opponent was a black man. And what did those fans do back then? Did they shout robbery? No. They went home content with the fact that no black man would ever be given a decision over a white man as long as they were around. And so the farcical boxing decisions continued and became even more prevalent. It's amazing how far we've come since those horrible times, yet some things haven't changed much. Some fans are willing to look the other way at the corruption and collusion in F1, even when it's flaunted in their faces. If we want to stop our beloved sport from becoming a total farce, then it's up to us true F1 fans to do something about it. You can't rely on the written media or your favorite content creators because they all would like to continue enjoying the perks of being invited to race events by certain teams. They won't do anything to rock the boat. Anyway, that's all, folks. Thanks for watching, and remember to help support this channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons below. Till next time.